boundaries and like, you know, not letting things like get in your way. And then also just like, you know, where was I going with that? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys so much for the positivity and the love on my first vlog. I'm so happy, I'm endlessly grateful. I feel like YouTube is gonna be so much fun for me, especially because I'm like a certified yapper, I'm a yapaholic. So I feel like this is really fitting considering TikTok has time limits and everything else needs to be like really curated. And I feel like YouTube, I can just be a little bit of myself. I've seen other creators do this and I've been wanting to try it because I know you guys ask me so many questions and I really wish I could get back to all of you. My DMs are a mess, so I can't respond to each of you personally, but I did a Q&A on Instagram. Now just looking through this Q&A, I'll pick out some that I think are really like relatable and relevant and I'll answer them here for you guys. So I'm really excited. All right, let's lock in. This young woman asked me how to be positive in your 30s and you're single, etc. I get this question a lot. I feel like as a Middle Eastern woman, people tend to ask me this question because Middle Eastern women, we're told like our value resides in like what type of partner we are and like how, if we get married, if we have children, like that's deemed like valuable for women. And it's like, we're told to go get an education, but to be more valuable as a bride. You know, we're told to like do more to like have like a social standing as a bride. Like everything has that intention to like be a bride. So it's kind of like when a lot of women in our ethnicity find themselves to be like pushing 30 or like over 30 and they're not brides yet, it's really hard to like not feel negative about it. Me personally, I don't feel negative about it because I knew early on my goal in life and like my purpose in life wasn't to be somebody's wife, period. If somebody comes along and is perfect for me, then that would be great, but I'm not trying to be perfect for anyone. I know that sounds one-sided or like selfish, but like that's how it is these days. But if you grew up with that mindset, it's hard for you to get rid of it, that like you're getting older and it's hard for you to be positive. Being single, just knowing the environment that most of us Middle Eastern women grew up in, just remember that it's your life. You were born alone and you are going to leave this earth alone. So at the end of the day, what you decide truly what makes you feel fulfilled and confident and what makes you feel positive. Like you decide that outlook every single day. I know that sounds like tough luck, but it is true. Like you hold the wheels right here. Like, yeah, your parents and like your family and culture kind of steered it a certain way, but at the end of the day, you have full control as to how you want to perceive your life. And you have to switch from thinking being single is such a negative thing to like, at least I'm not with the wrong person. Okay, I'm not with the right person. I haven't found my right person yet, but at least I'm not with the wrong person. At least I don't have like 3 failed engagements, a couple of divorces under my belt, and like no hate to anybody who has, but like, you know, at the end of the day, if that's your situation, that's how you are, like you have to think positively, like at least you're not with the wrong person and you're cool with waiting just a little bit longer for finding something you deserve. I don't envy people around me that are in relationships because I know they found something that fits them and their life. And I have a very different life and a unique path. And if somebody isn't my partner right now and I haven't found that person yet, I'm not supposed to have somebody at this time. I'm supposed to learn more things about myself. I'm supposed to like be more to my friends and be more to my family and like be more of like an individual, because it is true, like as a woman, you sacrifice so much of yourself to be in a relationship. So you have to think of it that way, as like, this is your purpose right now. And if you're nasib, if your destiny hasn't found you yet, like don't look at it as a negative of like, why? Like, what am I doing wrong with this? Like everything is divinely written and what's for you isn't going to miss you. So you just have to have confidence that like you're in the correct position in your life and you didn't do anything wrong. If anything, forcing somebody to be that person for you or forcing something will be wrong and it will put you in a wrong position. You're going to end up with like cheating, unhappiness, unfulfillment. You're going to have anxiety attacks every day. You're going to be like miserable. Like whenever I was with the wrong person trying to make it work, I was so miserable. I wasn't living to my fullest potential. I wouldn't have been able to find my brand, like my entrepreneurial spirit, if I was still with that person, because like the anxiety and the stress of being with the wrong person really held me back. So instead of thinking of it negatively, think of it as a positive thing of like, what can I do next with my life? Instead of being like, why? Like, woe is me, what have I done wrong? Like, I'm only getting older. Like, yeah, you're only getting older, but look at Lauren Sanchez and Jeff Bezos. Like, that's his queen. And she's his age. Like, she's very age appropriate for him. So you don't know. You just, Amal Clooney and George Clooney, you just don't know what could be waiting for you as time progresses. And like, the best way to welcome that with open arms is to just really be kind to yourself and to be positive and to be patient with yourself, that like, this is your journey and your journey alone, and nobody else could like fit in your shoes and in your position and change things for you for the better. Like, you're meant to walk your own life. And if you don't have a positive outlook, you don't have anything really. You really need to train your brain to be more positive about things, even if you envision things a certain way, even if your family wanted things a certain way, even if culture says it's a certain way. And if you want kids one day and you're scared about that, egg freezing is always a solution. I've thought about it. I don't know if I want to go through with it. I'm kind of scared, but like, there are different solutions and ways to like keep up with yourself and like to ensure you can desire that you can get the things you desire one day. If you want kids, if you like are scared of having kids too late, etc. But also like, okay, like my mom had kids at 24. I'm 30 and I don't have kids. I don't think I'd be a good mother right now if I just had a baby, and I think it would change my life exponentially. So mabloom hali, like I don't blame myself for like not having kids, even though when I was younger I thought like by this age I'd be married and I have kids and whatever. Like, you shouldn't ever blame anything or blame yourself. You should just be like, this is my path, and like I'm going to be patient, I'm going to be confident, I'm going to be secure in like how I live every day. I'm going to live every day with like intention and purpose and integrity, and what's for me will find me. And like, even if something never finds me, even like if I don't ever find a partner, I could at least say I was the best person to myself, rather than I was the best person to somebody who didn't deserve me. And I couldn't be there for myself because I was too busy showing up for that person who wasn't ever there for me. Does that make sense? The second one is low-key a good one. The difference between your life and everything in Dubai when you first moved versus now. I am completely different people. When I first moved to Dubai in 2022 and I started social media, like I started social media kind of on accident. I am two different people because when I first moved to Dubai, I was a bottle girl. I knew I didn't want to be a bottle girl anymore, but I got a job in a club as a bottle girl, and I was like, this is gonna be my last hurrah. I'm just gonna like get tips from rich men, maybe meet a rich guy out here, and like that's it, like my life will be settled. Like I didn't know what else to do with my life, you know, other than like get out of bottle service, because I knew so many girls who got stuck in the club and addicted to fast money, and I just didn't want to be one of those girls. And I just felt myself growing out of it. So I got this job out here and I moved out here, and you know, I never got paid by the company, and it was kind of like a little it was a scandal a bit. And I did not know how to recover from that. I was owed like $24,000 in tips and like salary and whatever, and then I was paying out of pocket to be in Dubai, and I'm the type of person, I'm very tenacious, I don't accept defeat. So I was like, I'm not leaving till I get my money. I was literally just like getting drunk every couple of days, like running around everywhere, like just outside, because I was just like letting out steam everywhere. Like I was like this fireball, like fucking just like everywhere, just like destroying everything, destroying myself in the process. Like I was miserable. I was so upset. I felt like my life was just rock bottom because I didn't know what else to do. Every time I met a guy, it was just as disappointing as the other one, if not more, you know? And like every time I thought like there was gonna be some sort of savior for me, like a guy, because, you know, as an Arab woman, especially an Arab woman, like I don't come from like the most economically beneficial background, you know, like my parents don't make the most money, and like we're not considered like wealthy Arabs in any sense. But I just knew I needed to get out, and I always just kind of thought a guy would just save me. I don't know why. Like it could just be the culture. Like I just thought a guy would save me out of like my poverty and like my misery, because I'm this beautiful girl, like a damsel in distress. Like, whoa, like, please, like, put a ring on my finger, like, give me your credit card. I wanted that so badly here in Dubai. I wanted to find somebody. I thought I was like a diamond in the rough out here, but there's so many beautiful women here, and there's like a completely different game that's played here. I was having a really hard time dating, and that's when all these story times came out, and my TikTok really blew up. But like I was truly miserable deep down inside, like, and it's kind of true that misery loves company, because I feel like I was more popular back then. People loved my content back then, but it's kind of like just watching somebody self-destruct. Like something about that was so attractive to the audiences that were like gathering towards me, and I really was just self-destructing. Like now that I'm like 30 going on 31, I can't imagine doing those things. Like people are like, Siham, you've changed. Yeah, I'm like turning 31. Like my life is completely different. And like, I can't be doing that. That would be so embarrassing to like still be like doing these dating stories and like going from one guy to the next, 2 days, one night, because I didn't like this guy. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'll still do it. If I go out and date with one guy, I don't fucking like him, I'll ditch him for the next guy. But like, it's just kind of like, I was on a different type of time back then. And I never really saw myself having a business or like, you know, just like being favored in life. I just felt so down on life because of everything that happened. And I just felt like I just was going through so much bad luck. Like it truly was rock bottom for me. I don't even know how I was living here. Like I literally like was barely like scraping it through. And yeah, I just ended up finally kicking in the towel and moving back home. And then I met an ex of mine, like somebody who I was dating for a little bit. I don't know if you could even consider him an ex, but that was a huge fiasco in summer of 2023 when I moved back, and I thought, this is the man I'm gonna marry. And he was wealthy and he was generous and whatever. And then, you know, that turned out to be, you guys probably know the story if you don't know, he turned out to be married and he was hiding it really well. And that's what I've realized, like, I need to just go all in myself. Like, I really can't be doing this anymore. Like, I think God is just showing me time and time again, like, be there for yourself. Like, why are you looking for your salvation in other people? It's in you all along. That's when I was like, I have a social media following. I have things that I like. Why don't I just create? I love to create. Like, why don't I just try creating? And I founded my business. And like now moving back to Dubai, like at first I was so scared to come back when I just began finding my business and finding my path, because I had such a bad time here the first time around. And I feel like moving back helped me kind of like overcome that beast of like low self-confidence, low self-esteem, like bad habits. Don't get me wrong, I still have some bad habits, but like I didn't fall into that pit I fell into last time. And I think I just really needed to hit rock bottom and like listen to like this quiet and stillness of life. Like when you just stop punching, you know, like when life is kicking you down, you're just like punching and punching and punching, and you're throwing things, and you're just like causing a fit, because like life is just like, you feel like nobody's listening to you, nobody's understanding you, like nobody's giving you what you want. But then like when you finally accept that defeat and you just stay still for a little bit and you just listen to like the stillness, like you kind of like you hear like something, and it's like where you were guided to be all along, if that makes sense. So yeah, it's two completely different people, but I really needed that beating I got in Dubai the first time around to be where I am now. So if you are ever going through a hard time, if you are ever finding that nothing's working out for you, everything is just getting fucked up time and time again, you're not able to like, you feel like right when you're starting to get back on your feet, you get knocked back down, just remember that like there's something waiting for you after all of that. Like how well you carry yourself and like the lessons you learn. I didn't carry myself all that well throughout that time, but like the lessons that you learn, like I could probably say no matter like what I was going through at the time and how bad I felt, I never did anybody dirty. People took advantage of me left and right. I was put in horrible positions left and right. I was used time and time again. I never took my revenge. I never did anybody dirty. I was just like, you know, God sees that I'm a good person. And even though like I keep getting screwed over and over again, like I remember there was this one girl who had just brought all her stuff and like I thought we were really good friends. She was like, oh, you know, like I got kicked out of my hotel. Like this guy was paying for my hotel and like now he just disappeared and they're telling me I need to leave. And I was like, if you want, you can come bring your stuff to my place. It ended up being like 3 months. When I was asking her for rent, I was like, girl, I really need rent money. Like I'm going through it right now. I was trying to do real estate. I wasn't making any sales. Like I was just like hitting deep in my pockets. Like I was like below zero at that point. I was like, girl, like I need you to pay rent. Like, please, can you help me with rent? And she literally like had me renew because she said she was going to pay rent and then just vanished. And that was like one of like my breaking points. Like I kind of felt relieved that she was gone because like she was taking advantage of me. But then also she put me in a position where I renewed this place I couldn't afford because she told me she would help me pay rent. And I couldn't pay rent. And then I started to cry. And I was in the tub crying. I remember my dad called me and I was like, I don't know why people keep doing this to me, but like, I know that like God's gonna look out for me one day. Like, you know, I know like one day, like, you know, like God will be like, you were good to people even when they weren't good to you. And I'm going to reward you. So I feel like don't ever let this pain and negativity like ruin your heart and turn you into a bad person, like sour you. I think that's the way to like truly reap the rewards that this life can give you at the end of like your struggles and hitting rock bottom. Is like you need to take care of your soul and yourself. Like I think that's the most ultimate test. So I think I just went off on a big tangent right there. Sorry. But yeah, first time I moved to Dubai to the second time I moved to Dubai, 2 different people, completely, entirely. And the city keeps changing too. Everybody wants to move here now. It's becoming way more fast paced. It was already fast paced, but yeah, it's definitely something, but I have no regrets. And I think I've always been at the right place at the right time, even if I didn't think I was. Here's another good one. How has TikTok impacted my personal life? Whew. I was so open in the beginning on TikTok. Like I love telling you guys everything. Now I'm way more reserved because of how much it impacted my personal life. The best comparison I could give to you guys about being on social media and what it's like is like when I first started my story times and like, you know, my get ready with me, and I was very open, I was very detailed about everything going on in my life. It was like I was like standing naked on stage, but everybody was like, or at least that's what I saw, you know. There might have been some people like snickering and laughing, whatever, but like I just mainly saw the applause, like, wow, like amazing, you're amazing. And then at some point in time, I started to see the people that were like, ah, and then it felt like everybody was laughing at me. And then you just like want to get off stage. You're like, no, like I can't. Like it literally feels like you're naked on stage and like you don't know what's gonna happen. And once you start feeling that perception of the people who are, you know, negative, it's hard to unsee it. So every time you post, you're kind of thinking about them, you know? And it's so much easier and better to post on social media when you feel like your audience are your friends. And that's what I'm trying to like really focus on, is like you guys who really support me and like care about me and like love my content. Like we are friends. Like I don't call my followers or anybody fans. I feel like that's like derogatory. I call you guys my supporters. And I also feel like fan can also be taken in negative context. Like I try to like focus on those positive like aspects. Sorry, I washed my hair today and I feel like, you know, the first day wash is like, I keep fucking with my part because I don't know what looks good right now. It's like people know things, and like with all of my story times and with me being an influencer in Dubai and like, you know, like whatever. And then the rumors of like, oh, you know why girls go to Dubai, right? Which is freaking insane, you guys. Like, I don't know what goes on outside like that. I don't know anybody that does that, but rest assured, like nobody is doing that to me. Like you can come to Dubai and be a normal person. You know that, right? Like if you're a pretty girl in Dubai, that doesn't mean you're like doing those things. You know, like it's not like it's black and white. So, but because of that, like just a pretty girl, young in Dubai, suspicious source of income, which I think is funny because like what I do for work, I do social media. You know, if you guys see a tag in my videos, sponsored post. I think people just have a hard time realizing that. And then they're like, how does she like afford her life? And like this and that. Like she's always at the clinics, this and that. A lot of these clinics in America and Dubai, like LA especially, and like Dubai here, they want to collab. They want you to post them. And so they'll give you free treatments. And if you're like if you see somebody with like a good amount of followers tagging somewhere, they have an incentive to tag them. They either got something for free or they have a deal with them. So like people don't really consider those things. So they just think like escort, which is crazy because if I was an escort, I feel like I wouldn't have even found my business. I feel like I would have been running appointment after appointment after appointment after appointment after appointment. Then you'd be like, how the hell did she get a house? Then, you know, y'all could say something, but also with how like public I am and like my story times, how would I ever get clients as an escort? Nobody would book me. Nobody. They'd be like, this bitch runs her mouth. To this day, Raya doesn't accept me. And I've never been on Raya. They just like black banned me from the get-go. They're like, this bitch talks too much. So, but yeah, social media definitely affects my personal life in a sense where like I'm being perceived nonstop. And you have to learn to like not allow that feeling of being perceived to get in the way of you being your own individual and your authentic self online. Because that truly is where you hit the gold mine with every single post, is when you're being authentic and you're being your own individual self. And like when I'm dating nowadays and stuff, you like all the guys that I start talking to, they get like warned about me because of like my social media like footprint and like she lives in Dubai and like this and that. So social media has affected my life in positive ways, so many positive ways, but a few negative ways. And it's like you have to find that middle balance of like having boundaries and like, you know, not letting things like get in your way. I think like finding your boundaries and how to enforce them is like the most difficult part. Because when you start off social media, you're like, oh, you're all like so happy and you're all oversharing everything, this is that. And it starts to bite you in the ass and that gets hard to date. Then like you hear all this talk about you, then people find out about this guy and that guy and that guy and this guy. And then people are calling you left, right. They're like, what the fuck did you say about me? What the fuck did you say about me? And this, whatever. And then like, it becomes like a whole headache. And then like, then you start pulling back and then you're like, you realize your audience is less engaged because you've pulled back. And then it's like, you need to find where that balance is, like where that middle ground is of like having boundaries and sharing. And also just being able to have a personal life and like what to separate from like what you're going to show online, like what you need to protect in a sense. Like it's really hard to find that. Also just like the insecurities because your face is always on camera. Like I don't think I've ever picked apart my face more, especially like turning 30. Like this was like a sensitive time for me. And then like I'm chronically online. So people are like having opinions about my face. And one thing I got really bullied into was my lips. I was constantly bullied about my lips. Even to this day, people are like, why are your lips like, because I have M-shaped lips and they have like divots in here. Like they go like, and it's really hard to fix that. And it's like to the point where I'm considering surgery because like the comments have gotten to my head so much more than like if I wasn't on social media. So I feel like just being somebody who's present online, you really need to have that like, this is where I stopped taking things personally. Like and it's hard to build that armor on top of you. Break and charge my camera because it died, and I changed my light, and this one's so much better because the last one was blinding me. I also was watching Yellowstone in the background. My dad watches it and I just got into it, so I can't wait to call him about it. But let's get back to some questions. I screenshotted a few. What's the lesson you learned the hard way about friendships? There are so many people in this world that like they are fun friends, and then like if you have a good heart and you're an empath, it's hard to differentiate and set that border between like fun friends and people who actually genuinely want the best for you. And as I started to change my life and decide I want better for myself, I really had to assess the people around me and be like, are these people that don't want me to do better than them? And especially when you come from somewhere, like I'm from the Inland Empire, and I feel like that place can be like a very bitter place. So you have to catch that. You have to have that filter. And it's a really hard lesson to learn in the beginning because you think, I really love this person and I have so much fun with them, and like I think they're my friend, and it's hard to cut that off and let people, like it's hard to make that realization, but you see signs, you see from like, you know, the types of questions they ask you when you're like doing different things, and like, you know, like how they're trying to like, I don't know, like always try to like make things about them or like kind of like humble you in a way. So when I found my best friend, like my best friend and I, Cree, we've been best friends since I started working at Liaison, which was like 2021 going into 2022. So, but that's like, even though it's a new friendship, it's truly one of the most genuine friendships I've had, where she like, we both look out for each other. We both put each other in our places. Like we both like are very, it's just natural. Like there's none of that like hidden envy or like weirdness. And especially as a girl who's always wanting to do better for herself, it's really hard to find other girls who are not going to like hate you for wanting to be better, or consider it like a secret competition, or think of it as a threat. And like there are also, as you level up, there's so many people. Like now my issue, like now that I've like gotten to better places in my life, is like trying to differentiate friends who want to use me, you know? And like now I'm being protective about my energy in like a different way. Before I was protective of my energy in a way that was like, I'm trying to be better, please don't bring me down. And now I'm protective over my energy in a way where like I am in a better place in life, and there are people who are going to try to use me, or going to try to humble me, or going to try to like take my connections, quote unquote, which is like, if you're my actual friend, like there's no such thing as taking, like I will actually give you my connections, or like see what I'm doing, or, you know, like it's just a whole different game. And I feel like people are always something you need to figure out. Like as your life changes, like there's always going to be a new problem to face, but like just as long as you have like that small circle of people you could truly trust, like it doesn't need to be, you don't need like 50 million people. Like if I ever get married, like I used to be sad thinking like, I don't think I would have a big wedding, like who would I invite? But now I'm like, thank God I'm not gonna have a big wedding. Like when I did, there's just so many people who will move weird around you, but it's like your responsibility to like figure that out and like not dwell on it. I used to be a big dweller and be like really sad, like why would this person do this to me? Like what did I do to deserve that? I was always good to this person. But now it's just like, I know it's not a reflection of me, it's a reflection of them and who they are as a person, and they're just gonna move on to the next victim. So it's always your duty to protect yourself against people. If you don't look out for yourself, nobody else will. You're the only barrier you have in this world against like anybody doing you dirty, anybody screwing you over, anybody invading your space to like take what you have or like bring you down. At the end of the day, like these are your decisions. If you have friends that are going to want to bring you down by like partying and drugs and stuff like that, like it's your choice. Like I don't know what to tell you. We could be like different people, but ultimately at the end of the day, like whatever they're trying to like bring you into, whether it's drugs, like lots of sex, like partying, alcoholism, or even like, you know, just like weird social circles, like, and it's just a reflection of them. Like they're there and they see you in a different spot, but they don't like where they are. So they want to bring you where they are so they could like humble you in a sense, and they could feel more comfortable that they're not alone in this place that they don't want to be in, you know, and like somebody else along with them is being brought down. And at the end of the day, it's your responsibility to like peep the play and scoot out of there. Like I cut people off like this. Like I'm not down to like lose my life and everything I've worked for. And like what I'm trying to do and lose my potential because the people around me want me to like go down to where they are. It's not gonna happen. So I think those are some of the hardest things to really learn about friendship, especially if you're like an empath, especially if you're really sensitive, especially if you found it difficult to make friends and you like really value the friendships that you have despite them probably not being good for you. You really just like, as you level up in life, you really will see people's true colors. Like when you're just like a fun girl, like going out, partying, whatever, like you're not gonna see this because like you're not doing anything with your life to invoke that jealousy or like that like weirdness from people. But once you start actually elevating yourself, you are gonna see how people really feel about you. But it's up to you to like clock that and to like protect yourself from it. Next question. Would I ever do a what I eat in a day or any health and fitness recommendations? So as you guys know, I've been on Manjaro and I'm not Manjaro influencer because there are serious health risks. You use it at your own risk. I used it at my own risk. Thankfully, I'm like mostly fine, but I need to constantly check myself just to make sure I'm fine. And that's what's helped with the stubborn weight that I have from PCOS. So I'm at my ideal body weight, mostly because of Manjaro. I've tried weightlifting. I've tried like dieting, different things. Like I don't really do much differently except for the Manjaro jab. If anything, I work out less now. It's made me a bit lazier, but like I do Pilates and I wouldn't do what I eat in a day because I think it's like so unhealthy. And there's a lot of stigma behind it, and I don't want to get into that gray area of like people like judging me and being like, she's basically anorexic or something like that. Like I don't want to like get that energy coming towards me. So yeah, I don't really want to like be like a body type of like influencer. At the end of the day, like we all are born with different bodies and different health systems and different like ways our bodies operate. Like no two bodies are going to be the exact same. So what works for me might not work for you. And that's why I just think like these types of advices aren't like the best. And like, it's not something I want to engage in a day. I don't know, I just feel like I've seen so many people get clocked for what I eat in a day, and I'm like, I'm not trying to get into that. Like I already get clocked for like different shit. I'm like, please like spare me. How do you deal with being way too hard on yourself or punishing yourself for your past? I used to punish myself for my past a lot. I used to really hate the things that had happened to me, and I thought I didn't deserve good things because what happened to me. And I think the best way to like free yourself from those self-inflicted pains is like to realize like you're really only doing it to yourself. The past is gone. It's done. I could go to the government and change my name and be Marissa instead of Siam. Like it really is in my hands. Like I don't need, nobody's forcing me to suffer except for me. Do you guys? There's this quote, and I think about it when that question that she asked comes to mind. There's this quote and it goes, I was my first victim and now I'm my last hope. And I think when you put into perspective that your suffering is self-inflicted, like you're the only one holding yourself like to your past, and you're the one that's giving yourself these punishments every single day, you have this mind shift and you are your savior at the same time. You could either punish yourself all the time and live in this misery, or you can decide that you don't want this anymore and you want to be your savior. And once you have that shift in your mindset, like nobody else can turn that switch on except for you. And once that happens, your whole life will completely flip. I feel like I've been rambling a lot, but let's do like 2 more questions. My camera keeps dying. I don't know why. What motivates me in life? Spite. Spite. You don't know how many people do not fucking like me, have wished me the worst. I've done nothing to them, from family members to, you know, when I was young, to like people in school, to like full-grown adults that I've had nothing to do with. Like, spite. I just want to show people, like, so many people said I would be nothing. Like, so many people just like would bet their last dollar on like me not being successful or standing in my way. So literally just spite is that fire burning in my heart that motivates me to be better and to do better and to make more money every single day. And because I know I owe it to myself at the same time. Like, nobody owes me anything, but I owe myself everything. And I'm the only one that could give it to myself. Okay, I like this one. As a 27-year-old girl, what beauty treatments should I start for anti-aging? Girl, 27 was like my prime. Like, these nasolabial folds were not there. My cheeks were like up here. Like, that shit was my prime. Like, enjoy it now. But as you get older, I feel like once I hit 29, I really felt my collagen drop. And I just like looked at myself one of those days and I was going through a really bad heartbreak and I was drinking a lot. And I feel like it aged the shit out of me. And I just remember looking into the mirror and being like, I started doing this. Like, I do this so much now and I never used to do that. And one thing that's really helped me, and I will try to find before and afters for you guys, is Sculptra. I've done 3 rounds now, and right now I'm healing from my 3rd round, and it builds collagen over time. Another thing that's helped me a lot is the Fotana 4D facelift. I've done like 2 rounds of that. I still need to do a few more, but I love it. I don't do filler like that, you guys. I've only done filler here on the sides, not in my chin here. A lot of people think I did my chin, but I think that's the Sculptra working. I do filler here on the sides because I did buccal fat removal, and with all the weight loss, I look really gaunt. So this looks very like, when I don't have filler here, it's just half a syringe, just on these 2 sides right here. We did it with a cannula, and I don't get filler done anywhere else, really. I haven't really touched my lips because I've been bullied so hard for it. And skin treatments, I'm gonna go in for CO2 soon. I take spirulina every day. I try to eat healthy. I wear sunscreen all the time and invest in really good skincare. I think that's another thing. I started using more like higher end skincare, and I'll do like a whole skincare video breaking things down. But girl, enjoy 27, enjoy it. And guys, I think that's it for right now because my camera keeps dying every 5 minutes and I'm so sick of it. But I'll do another Q&A soon. Stay tuned for my IG stories. You could submit them there. I hope you guys loved this. I'm eager to do more, and we'll do more fun ones too. I feel like this one was really serious. Let me know if you guys like this video. I'm so excited to do more, and don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and engage with my channel. It's a brand new baby, and I can't wait to keep pouring more into here. If you guys also have other video ideas, let me know in the comments. I'm more than happy to do them. Anyways, good night, you guys. I can't wait to post more, and I love you.